Alright folks, so we're just finishing up deployment here. This is round 2 for the Tyranids, facing off against the Salamanders, so classic foe here on the channel. So they are facing down against these fellas. So you've seen the list just beforehand. Again, my list is the same one being used, and just recapped all the Salamander lists as well, plus in the video description. So looking at deployment here, this is Surround and Destroy. Secondaries, I went with Engage, Rod, and Assassinate, meaning there's 4 characters opposing me, and they went with Oath, Engage, and Rod. So very similar on the whole. Going to be interesting in the middle here. So I finished deploying. He's just putting his last down. So we got Termagants, Harridan, Warriors, Broodlord, Hive Guard, Warriors, the Maleceptor, Swarmlord, Genestealers, and Lictor will be appearing. So it should be an interesting time. Again, a little bit different list than the Salamander used to facing with the Tyranids, especially with the Harridan here and whatnot. So we will come back after we finish deploying and see who's going to go first in round 2 of the Basement Wargaming in-house. All right, folks, so we have gone ahead and deployed here. So looking at the Salamander side, you saw where all the Tyranids were. Salamanders here, we have Phobos Infiltrators. I know they got the Phobos armor. The Captain, Tac Squad, Dreadnought. We have Dreadnought number 2. Eradicators, Lieutenant. Blade Guards, 5 there. Veteran, Librarian, 10 Assault Intercessors hanging here, 3 of the Aggressors, Tac Squad holding that objective, Predator, and you're all in on the board. So we're going to find out who's going first in this round 2 of the tournament. Here we go, a 4 to a 1. So Salamanders get first turn, and then I will redeploy a few things. All right, movement is done for the Salamanders in round 1. So these guys all move forward on this side. The Intercessors, Aggressors, Attack Marines moving away in case the Genestealers slink around. Blade Guard move forward. Staying still with these guys, getting Oath, Tank, Dreadnought over there moved, getting shots lined up against the Harridan. These guys just over here getting ready for whatever might come their way, just positioning. So we're going to move into Psychic and then probably a few las cannon shots, and that will probably likely be the turn. So turn 1 done. Harridan taking 6 collective wounds between the Predator and the Dreadnought shooting in there. So that's it for the turn. Everyone else just ready to move forward. Some Oath points on the board for the middle here, depending on what I shoot, but I got some other targets I think I need to take down first. We'll come back after that, though, into Tyranids turn 1 movement. So movement is done for the Tyranids. Over on this side, getting a nice healthy 6-inch move with these guys. Synaptic links as well. They have +1 to hit. Swarmlord's moving behind them. He dished out with the Synaptic chain over there, rerolling the damage rolls on the Hive Guard. Hive Guard got buffed from the Broodlord, getting to reroll their wound rolls in the 6. Then these guys also gave +1 to hit to Mr. Harridan flying over that way. And over this, everyone's just kind of staying back, rotted this section. Also forgot to mention Salamanders have rotted this zone on their own. So that's it. Coming back after Psychic, and so shooting phase and Psychic phase done. So these guys move forward on this side. Spent 1 CP to try and get Catalyst back, but hurt myself. Over this way, I dropped the Aggressors down to 1 guy, so some very fortunate rolls on the part for the Salamanders there. Just even with my rerolls from the Hive Guard, they did the shooting. Killed the tank there. As well as blew it up and did immortal to the Lieutenant. Over this way, Hive Guard double fired, took out that Dreadnought as well. So 2 major threats down. Checked as well, the Eradicators can't get to him with this big block, so they'll be next. But my Genestealers are going to charge in here, and we'll come back after the fighting and see what it looks like. All right, so that ends the turn. The Genestealers came in, lost 1 to Overwatch, and then got those guys. I overran just to get them back to force decisions, whether to pull things forward or back there. And that is it for the turn. So getting 2 for Engage. We both have 1 section for Rod. I did allow him to get the Oath there, and nothing falling back or failed morale for the Salamanders. So getting 3 points for Oath for them as well at the end of the battle round. We'll come back after turn 2 Salamanders. Movement, the force moving back with the Aggressor here, the Intercessors, and the Dreadnought over that way to take care of the Genestealers. Over this way, the Blade Guard continue advancing into the middle along with the Eliminators blocking the way there. Phobos guys moved inside of the terrain here, 10-man squad strong, ready to take care of anything over this way. And then the attack marines sitting back with the eliminators who are moving over just to get line of sight lined up for the following turn. That's it for movement. We'll come back after shooting. So shooting done. So insanely lucky. I lost 5 Genestealers, I think it was. So very fortunate there, making the charge a little bit harder. Correction as well. The those attack marines rot at this corner last turn. The other attack marines got this quarter here. So I mixed those two up. Aside from that, the over here, the Hive Guard took a wound. Some insane saves being made for me. I realistically should have lost at least 1.5 or maybe 2 of them. Lost a warrior in a bit, thanks to some good Leviathan rolls. And that is it for shooting. So some charge is going to go down. I think your assault intercessors are going for the Genestealers. So I measured it up. You need an 8 on the dice. Let's see it. Is this the only charge going down, I think? Yeah, it's probably the only one. Only charge? Yeah. You're going to use the Patron dice. So shout out to Brian here. He's going to throw yours in there with a CP reroll.
Yeah.
So you go ahead there. That's not what you need. No. And then I get to try and steal one for my relic, which I don't. So that is it for the turn. So, getting set up for elves, realistically, they should have that. So some points sealed there. No fallbacks done. And I think that's it. So moving to Tyranids, turn 2. So movement is done for the Tyranids. Genestealers moved in advance along this way, getting a nice healthy 5. They are within 6 of Swarming, who moved up here. And that way he's going to slingshot them around and then engage that Librarian. And then just be a roadblock for everything else. And then Maleceptor staying where it is, just holding an objective. I'm getting 15 for primaries this turn. And then the Warriors moved up with the Broodlord coming around. For links and powers and stuff, they gained the rerolls, plus chained over from these Warriors. They get the reroll damage rolls from the Maleceptor. And then these Warriors gave the buff to the Harridan for the +1 to hit. And then the Broodlord gave his cover thing to them. I said the Harridan when we were talking earlier, but I can only give one out, so I gave it to them. They have the cover and stuff. So that's it. So that actually he'll give it to himself. That's what. I messed up on that. So because what? Moving. All right, that ends shooting phase. So. Transhuman the Phobos boys in there, Hive Guard fired in. Very good roll for me, taking out 5 of them, leaving 4 alive after some psychic powers went down. Hive Guard double tap, killing all but 3, I think it is, or 2 of the Blade Guard in the middle. Split fired with the Harridan, taking out the Dreadnought and the Eradicator, so it was good rolling over there. Double move these guys over this way, and they're going to charge in at the Librarian, and I'm going to attempt a long bomb charge here with the Broodlord, and then the Harridan's going to attempt to charge at the attack marines over there. So we'll come back after the... Alright, that ends the turn. The Genestealers came in, took out the Librarian, spent 2 CP, dropping me down to 1 just to ensure I get those extra hits in. Really need to get him going. The Broodlord came in, finished off 1 guy there, so there's 3 remaining. They hit back and nothing done to him. Harridan's in combat here, made the charge in, so took out 3 of them, then there's 2 remaining. And that is it for the turn. So moving into Salamanders, turn 3. So, Harridan, sorry, not Harridan, Harridan staying in combat, that's what I meant. It's the end of Salamander's movement. And then over this way, Captain moved forward. The Phobos guys staying engaged. The middle here, these guys are staying, blocking the lane. Blade Guard staying back, holding the center, racking up the points and also protecting characters. Over this way, everyone's coming around to get the Genestealers with the Lieutenant coming back to help out. And that is it for movement. 10 points scored per primary because the Phobos guys still hold that objective, and the attack marines are objective secured, preventing the Harridan from grabbing that objective. So that's the end of shooting. So my Genestealers dropped down to, I think 5 of them are in there from all the shooting with the flamers and everything. Broodlord is good in here, had some shots coming at him. Harridan lost another wound, sitting at 20 wounds right now, so he is chipped down a little bit. And then my Warriors were blasted apart by the lads, fusillades there. So some charges going to go down. The Captain's coming in to assist the Broodlord. Then some charges going down towards these Genestealers as well. So we'll come back into the turn here. So the Intercessors took out the Genestealers, consolidate towards the Swarmlord, grabbing that objective. And over this way, I interrupted, spending my last 2 CP. Broodlord wiped out the Captain, so really good rolling there. Harridan knocked him down to 1, and the Broodlord took a wound in return from the Phobos guys lurking about there. So that ends the turn. In terms of points, nothing for engage. Setting up, hopefully to get Rod soon with everything moving around. And I think that is it. So we'll move into Tyranids, turn 3. So movement done, the Harridan flew away, and it took to the skies and flew over this way, getting ready to shoot into these guys. Swarmlord moved over this way, ready to double move himself right at the Lieutenant to get some extra points. And then, or potentially into the middle here and see what Swarmlord can do. And then it'll just be those aggressors hanging out. And that's it. So still this guy up here. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Just kind of rushing here. He's actually going to come forward and see if he can kill a tactical marine. So that's it for movement. In terms of links and everything, these guys get the Maleceptor buff. These guys were over here to chain along, so they get the reroll damage. And the +1 to hit, I didn't have anywhere to put that with the Warriors. And then he's just going to do nothing there. So that's it. And he's also out of range for their reroll hit roll. So not getting that this turn, no double tap. So moving to shooting and psychic. All right, folks, so that ends the turn. Just kind of went into assaults and everything really quick. So in the shooting phase, the Lictor came forward and killed that guy with his flesh hooks. Incredible. That's the best the Lictor's ever done in terms of offensive output. Good on him. Broodlord then in combat took those guys out. Hive Guard fired in, killed off the Blade Guard. Swarmlord double moved in to fight the Ancient. I'm really whiffing my rolls here. Only did 3 wounds with him with all my attacks, unfortunately. Harridan fired in, killed off 7 of those guys. 1 ran to morale, then another 1 ran after the attrition test. That ends the turn. So getting 3 for my engage, I believe, with Harridan over on that side. And then nothing else for characters yet. So, and then...
Nope, for the captain. We lost.
Oh, the captain, yes. And then in the middle here, so you're getting your not full O's, 3 for O's, correct? At the end of battle round 3? Yep. So moving into Salamanders, round 4. Ends the turn, so very quick for Salamanders here, just recapping the end of it. All that happened is Lieutenant came through and charged into the Swarmlord, took off 2 wounds, I think, collectively with everything there. Then the Swarmlord fought in, killed off the Ancient, and that was it for the turn. So, Oath still on the table, nothing has fell back for max points there. And we'll come back after Tyranids round 4. 10 points scored for primary as well for the Salamanders this round. All right, everyone, round 3 is now begun. The Tyranids are facing off against the Tau in the final game of the day. So we're going to see what happens here. We are playing Retrieval Mission from the GT 2021 pack, obviously. And we are over on another table here, so a little bit of change of scenery, which is awesome. As you just saw, I went over the Tau list, and it's also in the video description. But looking at this, I finished deploying. Are you all set for deployment? Perfect. So we'll go over deployment here. So on my side, I have my Genestealers, Swarmlord, Hive Guard, Warriors, Maleceptor, more Warriors over there, and then a little Termies just hanging out over on that side. Harridan up in the middle. I do have my redeploy, so hopefully that'll come into play here to help me out. Then we have some Piranhas, a Devilfish, Crisis, Bomb, right there, all those boys hanging out. Stealth suits, and then around here on the other side we have the Cold Star Commander, Riptide, and am I missing? I'm missing some of the Pathfinders, and then there's a shield guy right there. Is that with the Pathfinders? Yes, shield fellow there. And that's it for that. In terms of secondaries, I went with Engage, Rod, and To the Last. And easy enough for this, they had the exact same on the Tau side. So for my To the Last is my Harridan, my Hive Guard, and my Swarmlord. And for you, on the Tau side, it is Riptide, Cold Star, and the Bomb, right? And the Bomb. All right, so let's find out who's going first in round 3 of this tournament. It's been a great day of Warhammer. Happy to end it on this one, so let's take a look. 6 for the Tyranids. Tyranids are taking first turn. So we'll come back after that, see how it looks, and jump into round 1 of this mini tournament. Movement is done for the Tyranids. Over here, the Warriors move forward. Rod at this section to get this side done. Broodlord buff these guys. They also got the Maleceptor reroll the damage roll, as well as the Harridan getting +1 to hit. The Genestealers over there getting +1 to hit with my Synaptic chain before everything is zipped around. Over on this side, my Genestealers redeployed with Swarmlord over here. Launching forward, I want to get my Steelers into the area of there, and there's a wall in the bottom, so they won't be getting hit by Overwatch sneaking in. So we'll come in that way, see what happens, but into Psychic and Shooting phase now for the Tyranids. So shooting is done for the Tyranids. So over this way, the Hive Guard fighting killed off all the Piranhas but one, and then shot with the double tap, blew up the Devilfish. And then over this way, the Harridan came forward, taking some mortal wounds, shot in, and took out the Riptide, and as well as a bunch of drones. These guys double moved up this way, so solid wall down there. They won't be getting Overwatch anyone, and they're about to charge in and hopefully tear some stuff up. So likely a bit of a multi-charge just to tag a bunch of things, but we'll come back after that and see what it looks like. So that ends the turn for the Tyranids. So the Genestealers came in, wrecked some havoc. I spent 2 CP, I'm down to 3, so very CP heavy turn. In here though, they came in, wiped out the Pathfinders, the drone, and then the tank just barely, with those exploding 6s making all the difference there. Then they, and the Riptide early, yeah. And then they consolidated and tying up everything there. For the most part. So that ends the turn, getting 2 for Engage, 1 section for Rod done, and grind them down I should have secured for this turn. Or sorry, not grind them down, I didn't take that. To the Last is what I took. So that's it, we'll come into Tau, turn 1. Alright, so movement is done for the Tau. Pretty much all that happened is Cold Star fell back, declared Monka. Yeah, Monka. Good night, buddy. And then basically everyone, there's all kinds of stratagems going on. I gained 1 CP back. There's a whole whack of crazy stuff. Everything is shooting the Harridan, and that is it. We'll come back and see if my Harridan can survive the Tau onslaught. Shooting is done. Everything, as I mentioned, fired into the Harridan. He's kicking with 7 wounds right now, so still alive, but potentially some charge. I think some Tau has some fly, but we'll come back to check some stratagems right now, and we'll see what it's like. Then we'll tally up points at the end of battle round 1. So that ends the turn there. So the couple drones went in with the fly keyword, so zipping up into the air to fight him. No damage done to the Harridan, but I killed only a single drone off, unfortunately. So that is it. Moving into Tyranids turn 2. We'll come back and see what it looks like after moving. So it is the end of movement here. The Harridan left combat, jumped over this way, getting ready to fire in before he gets shot down, and then the Genestealers coming through over on this side to get ready to absorb some Overwatch potentially, and then Swarmlord's coming around over this way as well to sneak in hopefully and fight the suit. So that is it for movement. We'll come back. Oh, and the Warriors over this side are rodding this sector as well. So the back end for my side has been rodded. So coming back after shooting and psychic. So shooting is all done. The Crisis team here down to 1 guy. Yeah. Well, that'll be at the end of, because you'll see the help with Overwatch and stuff. So then for shooting and stuff, took out these guys down to 1 guy left with the combined might of the Hive Guard and the Harridan. Well, the Hive Guard took out all the drones first with the initial shot. Harridan fighting, dropping down to 1 guy. Double tapped with the Hive Guard to finish off the stealth suits, and now we got a charge going down. The Genestealers are going to charge in. at the commander and the breachers right here. And then depending on what happens, if some die from Overwatch, Swarmlord might come in. And I think the Harridan, well, he's got 5 wounds left. He'll make an attempt here as well. So we'll come back after that's all done. That ends the turn for the Tyranids there, taking out Firesight with the Harridan, and then Swarmlord got the commander, and then 2 breachers remain after the Genestealer Aftermath. And that is it for the turn. So we're going to find out next turn if the Tau can take down the Harridan, and then we'll come back after that. Folks, so we're just calling the game there. We were talking about the game on a whole. We both agreed that it really came down to who got first turn, and it was the Riptide was either going to shoot apart the Harridan, or the Harridan was going to kill the Riptide. One way or the other. That was, I think, the big deciding factor. Again, where the Harridan can't really hide. He would have been off the table. I could have redeployed him, that's true, but then that's also what turned the Tau up to set up and really chew apart the rest of my army without the Harridan as an offensive presence there. So, on a whole, like I said, I think turn 1 decided this matchup, unfortunately, but the way these 2 lists work against one another, that's pretty much the only way it could have really gone down, I don't think. So, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We'll try and do some more of these in the future. I think our next goal, though, aside from doing like an actual tournament, is to do something similar to a tournament style, however, with a narrative element. So less focus on the competitive side and a little bit more on the narrative story building and part of 40K, which we haven't showcased a lot. And I also have the Crusade book from Octarius. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next.